Hey, what's good, YouTube? This is Isaac, and welcome to my channel. As you all might know, I am a very enthusiastic Paribus fan, and because of that, I want to say that I am very excited to announce to you guys that the Paribus MVP mainnet launch is by the corner. Everything is set, everything has been put in place, the T's has been crossed, the I's have been dotted, and all we're just waiting for is for the announcement to be made. Hacken has made finishing and final touches to the audits, and the final report has been sent out. So we're just waiting for the announcement to be made. So, uh, in view of that launch, I realized that I haven't made a detailed review of the Paribus light paper. Like we all know, the light paper or the white paper, as the case might be, is a well detailed document that contains all the needed information about the project. That is, if you find a project you like and you wish to know more about the project, I think one of the first things you should do, or one of the first things you should look for, is that project light paper or white paper, so that you can read up and get all the necessary information that you seek about that project. So, since the Paribus mainnet launch is by the corner, I decided to make a review of the Paribus light paper to further sensitize and educate you guys about the Paribus ecosystem and how the ecosystem works. So, without further ado, let us dive right into the business of the day. So, like you can see on my screen right here, this is the Paribus light paper. Yeah, this is it, the Paribus light paper version 1.0. This light paper has got 18 pages. Yeah, let me scroll down for you to see that. Yeah, you can see that the paper contains 18 pages. That's from the cover page down to the very first page. So, okay, now this is the first page. That's after the cover page. Yeah, in this page there are four paragraphs. The four paragraphs. The paragraph starts with a very interesting and popular. I like calling it the Paribus saying. That's just it's one of the first things that I find that attracted me to Paribus. Yeah, here it says if it can be verified, it can be sold. If it can be sold, there is intrinsic value. If there is intrinsic value, this value can be leveraged. That is one very powerful statement there. It's a saying that that actually attracted me to Paribus in the first place. Yeah. So moving on, the next paragraph talks about the beauty of DeFi. That's the next paragraph. It talks about how fast DeFi is growing and how the increase of its user base. It talks about the increase of the DeFi user base. It talks about the flexibility of DeFi as well as the vulnerability of DeFi, and it also talks about how Paribus is focused on existing applications. In both fungible and non-fungible tokens, and it also states that one of the core objectives of Paribus is to explore tools and products of NFTs. Here, I think basically that's what this first page just talks about. So moving forward, here this is the introduction page. Yeah, that's the introduction. This is the introduction page right here. This page talks about the growth of the crypto market. Yeah, and about DeFi being one of the fastest growing use cases of crypto assets. And it also talks about the unconventional crypto assets and how they are being underutilized. That is, for example, NFTs. It has cited NFTs as an example, saying that there are limited ways of generating passive income from NFTs due to the fact that NFTs are being underutilized. NFTs as well as all the unconventional crypto assets. And in this page also, it also stated that Paribus seeks to address this situation by providing a way to make stagnant assets productive. And as you can see, scrolling down, you can see right here, this is a list of areas that Paribus believes needs improvement and work in order to fuel the growth of DeFi. Here, as you can see right here, this is the list. These areas, like it says here, chain agnostic lending and borrowing, NFT collateral based loans, virtual land collaterals, synthetic assets. These are the areas that Paribus believes needs work and needs work so that needs to be improved and worked on in order to increase and fuel the growth of DeFi. Here, moving on to the next page. This page talks about the Paribus proposition. Yeah, this is the page that tells it about the proposition of Paribus and also the philosophy of Paribus. Right here in the second paragraph here, it says our proposition and philosophy is to be able to support assets such as USDT, that is the ERC20, the BEP20, the TRC20 tokens, but also expand our capabilities to support assets such as NFTs for a piece of art or virtual land based on, for example, Decentraland. Yeah, and that's it. And here also it says here that as DeFi primitives come on chain, it is revamping traditional investments as new utilities are being derived from principles that have remained unchanged for decades. Paribus has defined opportunities in the following areas. Here, these are the areas that Paribus has defined opportunities, has identified opportunities. These areas here, I should read them out. It says these areas, it is liquidity position, virtual land, domain names, synthetic assets, music, smart contracts, insurance policies, digital arts, crypto collectibles. These are the areas that Paribus has identified as opportunities to be able to grow DeFi and leverage on them. So moving on to the next page. This page talks about the Paribus pursuits. Yeah, this is the Paribus pursuit. Here, it says Paribus will endeavor to offer a wide range of features that will ultimately add strength to its value proposition as one of the earliest DeFi protocols on Cardano blockchain. I mean, this basically just talks about the pursuit of Paribus and what Paribus plans to do and what Paribus seeks to achieve. So right here, you can see here talks about non-fungible tokens, that is NFTs. Here it's all. Then moving on, it talks about virtual land, synthetics, and LP tokens. I mean, these are the areas. Some of the areas, though not all, because some of the areas that Paribus seeks to work on and touch in order to improve DeFi. Yeah, that's it about that page. And moving on, this next page talks about the Paribus capture. Here, this page basically talks about the features of Paribus, of the Paribus platform. Here, like it says here, it says Paribus features and protocol are designed to evolve with new crypto assets classes, capturing the value stored in the emerging universe of interconnected blockchains. So right here are the list of some of the features of the Paribus platform. Here you can see we have algorithmic NFT valuation, P2P lending, that's peer-to-peer lending, LP and synthetics, and DAOs. Yep, that's what this page talks about. You know, the features of the Paribus platform and the design. Moving forward, the next page talks about NFTs and synthetics. Yeah, you know, Paribus focuses a lot, though not only, but a lot on unconventional assets, and one of these unconventional assets are NFTs. So here you find out how Paribus plans to work with NFTs and how Paribus plans to utilize NFTs and gain from these NFTs and use it and leverage on NFTs. Here This is synthesizing NFTs. That talks about how Paribus plans to synthesize NFTs, and it talks about the next year. It talks about the valuation metrics, and then next it talks about listing NFTs, and there is the conclusion. Yeah. Then next, this is powering synthetics. That's what Paribus plans to do with synthetics. How Paribus plans to power synthetics. Yeah, and all that, and that's the conclusion. Yeah, right here it says the Paribus protocol provides revenue for supporters of a given asset and does so without restrictions. I mean, that's amazing, providing revenues for the supporters of a given asset. I mean, that's very fantastic. And here this page talks about the Paribus users. As we all know, Paribus is a lending and borrowing platform. So the platform is being designed for different user types. It being a lending and borrowing platform, you go into the Paribus platform to use it. Either you go in as a lender or you go in as a borrower. So this page here, right here, talks about how you interact with the how you interact with the Paribus platform as a lender, and interacting with the Paribus platform as a borrower. Yeah, that's just what it talks about. Like it says here, Paribus is made up of several different user types. This section clarifies the inherent characteristics of assets along with Paribus user types and their roles within the platform. Yeah, that's it. And moving forward, this is one page I find so very interesting. For those that are keen, that are mathematically inclined. You wanna know how this modeling, how Paribus comes up with the models to use for their borrowings, for their interest rates, since it is a lending and borrowing platform. Here, these are the models that Paribus uses. Yeah, this page says interest rates modeling. These are the models that Paribus use. If it is something that you are interested in, you can come here to read up and find out what models are being used by Paribus. Right here, this is the supply interest rate that gives you. Yeah, this is you can actually find out about the supply interest rate with this model, and you can find out about the borrowing interest rate with this model also. Moving forward here, this is the borrow interest rate. You can find out the multiplier. You can also find out the base rate. So moving forward, still on models. Yeah, still on modeling. This page talks about the jump rates model. So if you want to find out, how the jump rates model that Paribus uses, this right here is the model. I mean, this is one page that I find so very interesting, to be very honest. So that's about that page. Then moving forward, this is the page that shows us the architecture of Paribus. I mean, as you can see on my screen right now, there is an image here that shows us just everything about the Paribus ecosystem, how the Paribus ecosystem operates. Here, this is the architecture of the Paribus ecosystem. You can just need it, something you can come and study, very quick and easy to understand. You see how the Paribus platform operates. Yeah, that's something that's interesting also. And then moving forward here, this says cross-chain compatibility. Paribus seeks to be able to gain interoperability. That is the ability to be able to interact with several and diverse blockchains. So that's the reason Paribus has to be built on the Cardano blockchain, because of the interoperability of Cardano. And right here it says below, the below diagram provides a high level overview of networks that is on our roadmap to be integrated with. That is, this particular diagram right here is an overview of all the projects or the networks that Paribus plans to integrate into their system. Here, this right here, as you can see from the beginning right here, this is Cardano. It links down to every other project that Paribus seeks to be integrated with in the nearest future. So yeah, that's it. Then moving on, the next page talks about implementation. It's not just about talking about what to do. There has to be a plan on what to do, how to implement these plans. So right here it talks about the implementation, how Paribus plans to implement these plans. This is about the liquidation. This talks about the price feeds. Here it talks about the fee structure, and this place here it talks about the risks involved. Yeah, so let's move forward. The next page talks about the PBX token. Here, I mean, this is a very I this is one image that I love. I mean, that's a beautiful image of the PBX token, and it's so very colorful. Yeah. So right here it says owners of PBX can create and vote on Paribus proposals with the goal of improving the protocol. You know, that is being a PBX holder. That is, PBX is the Paribus official token. So being a PBX holder gives you the power to be able to make decisions also. That is, to be able to make decisions and vote on various proposals in order to improve the Paribus protocol. That is, being a PBX holder, you are also a shareholder with Paribus. Yeah, I mean, that is something very interesting, right? I mean, Paribus gives you the power to be a decision maker in the protocol just by being a holder of the PBX token. And also with the PBX token, you can earn passively just by staking your token. I mean, that's so very interesting, right? You can earn passively just by staking your token. So the more you stake, the higher percentage of the earning you get. I mean, that's interesting, right? That's so very interesting. Yeah, that's that about the PBX token. This page that talks about the PBX token. Yeah, moving forward. Okay, I think that's the last page. I mean, it has been an interesting ride, actually. I hope that you've actually enjoyed the ride with me, because we have come to the end of this review, the review of the Paribus Litepaper version 1.0. I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and it has been interesting, because it has been interesting for me. It's been an interesting ride, and thank you for watching this video. And please do not fail to subscribe, do not fail to like, comment, and also subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.